After the ball is over, after the skein is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Pen Hook Needles Podcast, episode 501, and I think I have my wrong show notes pulled up. Hold on.
Oh.
Let me just see.
Yeah,
I know I've got them here, I just have to see where they went. There they are.
That gives me a chance to reposition this table.
No, that's not it either.
Did you just forget to renumber?
No, this is Monday the 18th. Maybe I did?
Because you've done that before.
Let me see, I'll tell you in just a second.
What did I do with my button for the light?
'Cause I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. Let me see what I got. I apologize for this. I thought I was ready, and I'm sure I am. Yes, this is fine.
Okay, so you just
forgot
to
renumber.
Mm-hmm. I thought that might be the case.
All right, let me just...
It's cold over here and snowing.
Snowing. It was hailing earlier. Yes, everybody, it is spring. Easter has come and gone, and it is snowing.
Did we introduce ourselves?
No, I'm getting there.
Okay.
Okay, let's try this again. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles Podcast, episode 501. Today is Monday, April 18th, as we are recording. Do not look at my notes that say April 11th. Okay, I am Marlecia, also known as Lady Fernico.
And I'm Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy.
We want to welcome you all to a Fun in the Woman Cave. If you are new, we're glad to have you with us. We hope that you find something you enjoy and that you will stay and come back. And if you are returning, we are always glad to have you back. Mm-hmm. If you are in the shadows, either new or returning, please feel free to join us officially. You just press the little subscribe button on your right and tap the little bell on your right as well, I believe, isn't it, up there?
Yeah, they're on the same side.
Yeah, and that way you'll get notifications. And if you want to really take part in the alongs or just kind of chat or just get involved with all the fun stuff, that happens over at our homepage, which is phnpodcast.freeforums.net. That's phnpodcast.freeforums.net. Did we say who we were? I am Marlecia, also known as Lady Fernico.
I did think we said so. So if this is the 10th time, so be it. Hi, I'm Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a movie star or something, like all covered up.
Yeah. So I'm a little discombobulated because I just am.
Snow. We'll blame the snow.
We'll blame the snow. Yeah.
We had hail earlier, too.
Yes, we did have hail. Okay.
And we saw robins out earlier, so I don't know.
It's supposed to be 85 degrees on Sunday.
Yeah, but I'm probably going to like a migraine or something with that much of a temperature.
It looks like it's going to be
adjustment.
gradually. Like tomorrow's supposed to be like maybe about 50 and then 60 and then 70, 80. So it's going to be kind of gradual. So it's not going to be like all of a sudden, boom.
Bam.
Yeah.
Which cook was the one who would go, bam.
Cook?
There was a cooking show, and he would put his ingredients in and he'd be like, bam, or boom, something like that.
I don't remember that.
Oh, who was his...
The only one I remember was the one who was so mean all the time.
No, it wasn't a recent show. It would have been like around the time Frugal Gourmet, I think.
Oh, probably, I guarantee.
Okay.
Probably, because it wouldn't be Yan Can Cook, I don't think. And I don't think it was Frugal Gourmet, so it was probably the Cajun Cook.
Okay, because he would go like, bam, or whatever.
I don't remember, but that's probably him. It sounds like it would fit in his style.
Okay, because I knew it was an older... I must have seen some of it as a kid or something when you were doing Frugal Gourmet, because I have this weird memory.
Oh, you have all kinds of... Because we used to have popcorn and lemonade, or you had lemonade and I had iced tea, or maybe I gave you Kool-Aid. I gave you the Capri Suns.
Oh, those things are great.
Yeah, and then we had popcorn and we'd watch Frugal Gourmet and Yan Can Cook, and...
So that's probably why I had this vague memory of this guy throwing ingredients in a bowl and like yelling stuff, but not like mean yelling.
No, that sounds like it might have been. I don't know what his name was, but I always remember him say, "I guarantee, guy," and somebody out in the out there probably knows what I'm talking about, Patty or Pat or somebody.
I actually enjoy cooking shows.
I like cooking shows, but I like a lot of do-it-yourself type shows. You know, even if I'm never going to build a house.
Well, even if I know it's probably like stilted or whatever, it's like not completely.
Well, no, I don't mind. I'm not talking about the competition shows.
Yeah.
I'm talking about actual cooking shows.
Oh, I meant I don't mean the cooking ones. I was talking about like when you're talking about the do-it-yourself ones, like.
Oh, right.
Like some of the house ones, I'm pretty sure that
Well, it depends if you're doing it to flip or to sell or whatever.
Yeah.
You're just doing do-it-yourself. If it's just do-it-yourself, that might be okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, what do we? How many do you have projects?
I have more than you. I'm pretty sure I have 10.
Yeah. Full disclosure, I didn't work on anything. I worked on stuff during the podcast. I worked on one project while Ty had blood work done, and I tried to work on a project the other night, and I think I got like maybe half a row done or a quarter of a row done. I didn't do anything. Nothing like that. No. So you're gonna see,
I go first.
You're gonna see what I did on the podcast last week. So.
In my All I Want to Do Is Hug All the Bunnies mug that Davina gave me, is my Russian Caravan, which is a tea spot tea. I don't have the container with it. I don't have the container I use because I left in the other room. It's a one of the Adagio, nice clicky.
They're having
ones.
Tea Spot's having a big sale. I think it's Tea. Is it Tea Spot? No, it's not. I'm sorry. It's Whistling Kettle that's having a big sale.
Really?
They're having a sale where you buy a teapot that has an infuser and it holds like 24 ounces or 27 ounces or something with the infuser, and then if you do that, you get to have some tea free.
That's pretty nice. What's the teapot cost?
I don't know. I have to look at it again. I wasn't
Because that's
I
pretty
wasn't going to
nice.
buy the teapot, and I don't. It's not like I think it's more like an infusing teapot. It's not like you can plug it in and.
Yeah, but that's still kind of cool if you... Because my problem with my little red teapot that I use is I can't really use leaves in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it really ends up just pretty and taking up room on my in my shelf.
Mm-hmm. You don't need this.
No, I don't.
Okay.
You're right, I don't.
All right. Anyway, you have to go twice all the time.
Yeah, but I said I had Russian Caravans to use.
Oh, okay. In my...
I don't have to say my tea twice, do I?
I have to twice. This is my... I crochet owl. I crochet all the things owls. This is from Chronically Crocheting. And she gave it to me, which I really appreciate. I love it. And I've got Berserker in here, which is one of Talia's blends. I might have put a little... not enough tea in here. This is a really good tea. Usually, it's just I think usually I put more in it,
And you also might still have the strawberry affecting your
and the
taste
peanut butter
buds.
and all that.
Yeah.
So.
Brain. We were talking about... What were we talking about?
Berserker.
Man, I could have sworn I had something I was going to say.
It'll come to you eventually.
That's annoying. I wanted to say about my mug from Chronically Crochet. I tend to use it for lattes. It's a really good mug for lattes.
Because it's big.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I
really
actually need to, if it doesn't cost too many calories for that rose tea, I could do that one. And I tend to save for special teas I don't have all the time. Because it's such a big mug. So.
It's a big one.
Yes, it is. I don't always want/need that much of a normal tea.
If I am holding this the whole podcast instead of doing any knitting or whatever, it's because I'm freezing.
It's quite cold.
Because we have the air conditioner on because it was warm. And now, you might say, well, why don't you just turn the heat on? Well, we're going to have to turn it off tomorrow then. So we're just going to bundle up and stay warm that way. I do want to thank, I know who you are. I did get your message. Thank you very much. I want to say it at the top of the podcast in case you think that I didn't get your message, and I'm saying again that I need to hear from you. I don't. I heard from everybody who won prizes. So thank you very much for getting to me. I hope to get those out relatively quickly. In personal section, you'll find out why I didn't do much of anything because other adult kind of things took over. So yeah, so we can move on. Let me
Adult
see.
things.
Yeah, it's fun
my.
things that you have to do.
We
adult
are
things.
a G-rated podcast.
Isn't that what adult things are, G? My adult things are all G. Okay. All right. Moving on. We have a couple of alongs going. The first one that is going now is Autism Awareness, and that goes from March 1st through June 30th. And this is where I'll go through the rules for this one, and then I'll change them slightly when we get to Tea and Tales. But so this runs for 3 months, and this is to kind of foster awareness of autism and Asperger's and all that kind of stuff on the spectrum, the autistic spectrum. And we do have some information in the thread. We haven't really changed the information, but we may have some anecdotes that we do on the podcast. We may pull up some facts if we have time to look them up, but basically we're just trying to knit with all the bright colors and with blue to foster awareness of the spectrum. Okay. Now, this month is actually Autism Awareness Month, but we're doing it for the whole quarter because a month isn't long enough to do things. I don't want people to rush. We always like to give you guys enough time to finish, at least a couple projects if you want to, so you can have a couple chances at the prizes.
Yeah.
Now, let's see here. Our co-host is Laura Concert, Crocheting Hoovian, and as I said last podcast, she's been doing this almost from the beginning with us. I think it was the second or third one that she jumped on board with us, and we've been doing this since the beginning of the podcast almost. So she's been with us a long time, and we're always glad to have her with us. And her rules might be a little different than ours, but not substantially so if they are. Just check it out if you have questions about that. Let's see here. Please tag your projects with the hashtag PHNAA2022 on Instagram. And, projects must be knit, loom knit, or crocheted and be substantially bright colored, 80% at least, okay? And like Ty and I said last podcast, we will not be trying to measure it or anything like that. We trust you, okay?
It just has to obviously look the majority.
It has to be obviously the majority bright. If it's not obviously the majority bright, then we'll probably move it to another thread.
We'll just smack you on the wrist, say bad.
With a wet noodle. So
newspaper on the nose. No, bad.
Not a skein of yarn?
Bad.
Skein of yarn on the nose?
Sit.
It would be horrible because the skein of... Bob them on the nose with a skein of yarn, and then they can't have the yarn.
Oh, that would be evil.
That would be horrible, yes. So behave yourself. Okay. And then we have special members who have their own special corner. So, because they are repeat offenders. Laura.
Not naming names or anything.
No, well, we can't let Brittany get away or Patty. I mean, they, yes. Out them all.
What did Brittany do?
She did get in the corner one time. I forget what she did. It was funny. I forget what she did. Maybe she can remember what she did.
Well, she's back to watching podcasts again, so...
Yeah.
She's not being picked on and not being able to defend herself.
No, and Brittany's one just... She's part of the family, so she's fine. All right. Okay, you must be a member to the groups to which you post. So if you're going to post in our group, obviously you're a member of this group, and if you're going to post it Laura's, you have to be a member of her group as well. Let's see. 1 whip per project per week. You put the finished object whenever it's finished. So if you work on it for a week, and say you start Sunday, I'm counting Sunday as the beginning of the week. Say you started on Sunday and you finished it that Friday, you can post the whip on Sunday and the finished object on Friday. Okay? Let's see. We do have prizes, which they're over there somewhere. Okay, off camera. Chatter, whips, and FOs will all be in the same thread. Let's see. Our featured autism specific patterns and yarns. Okay, we mentioned that normally this never changes for the nucleus of what's featured. Our constantly featured patterns and yarns are anything Lady Fernico. Okay, so my yarn and my one pattern, if I ever get any other patterns, those are always featured. Talia's patterns, if she ever did yarn or whatever, that would be featured. Laura Concert's yarn and patterns, okay, those are always featured. So, and then for this along, we have George, who is 10 hours or less, his Braided Bright, and we have what's her name? She used to be Miss World.
Yeah, you have her name on there.
Modest Creation. Modest Creation. Her weighted lapgan and teddy bear pattern. Those are also featured patterns.
And I just wanted to emphasize with the weighted lapgan, for whatever reason, it seems that a fair amount of people on the autism spectrum seem to have sensory issues. I'm not sure if it has to do with them already having trouble focusing, and so it's just another distraction, or if it just one of those things that just happens to go hand in hand.
I think it can it depends on the individual.
Yeah, because the people on the spectrum that I have met seem to have had sensory issues.
Well, I know Davina did, because when we first got her diagnosed, she had trouble with depth perception, and they had her doing therapy in the water, and like they put her on a swing, like a tire swing, and spin her around. She doesn't get dizzy; she just spins around. And so, to get her a little more, and she doesn't like to be touched.
I feel like she's gotten better about that.
Minorly, when she hugs and stuff, it's kind of like this. It's.
I can't tell because I've got sensory issues now, so...
it's great. Sensory issues for both my kids. So, yeah, they have the sensory issues, but I don't know where we're going with that.
Oh, I just wanted to mention it because of the weighted lapgan.
Right, the weighted lapgan. And to be clear, that's a two-part pattern. If you do just the bear, or if you do just the lapgan, each one of them is separate. So if you want to do just the bear, that's fine. If you want to do just the lapgan, that's fine. If you do the bear and the lapgan, that could be two entries.
Yes.
Okay? Now, let's see here. Of course, like we said, you can do anything you want, but as long as it's bright colored, okay? If you have an FO in one of the featured items, like a featured yarn or a featured pattern, that's 2 chances at a prize for the FO only. If you do a featured pattern and a featured yarn for the FO, that's 3 chances for a prize, and you are responsible for your multiple posting. Those of you who have been with us forever know this already. For you newbies, if you get confused by my rambling, just contact somebody on the thread or contact us or whatever. Somebody will help us. Well, I'm talking about...
Will help us?
We'll help them. Yes. Somebody does help us. Sometimes we don't answer. Rena usually answers if we're too long, because I don't know what we do with that, Rena.
I don't know.
Okay. The next one is PHNT and Tails. Okay. Now this one is a year-long along. And the rules are substantially the same, but it doesn't have to be bright colors. The caveat for this one is it has to be related to T and or tails, okay? Featured yarns and featured patterns. As I said, mine, Taya's, and Laura's, but also KF Jones, Mom Cook, and Joanna Johnson, as long as it's related to T and or tails. It could be knit, loom knit, or crocheted. It doesn't matter as long as it's related to T and or tails. It could be the yarn colorway, it could be the pattern name, it could be the project name, whatever. And like I said, the multiple postings are the same as for the Autism Awareness. A finished object gets a multiple chance at a prize if it's a featured pattern or yarn, or featured pattern and yarn. Okay. Let's see. We do have prizes. Yes. Let's see. Hashtag is PHNT and Tails 2022 on Instagram, okay? So that's all I have to say about the alongs. All right? You get to start.
Okay, just want to let people know before I forget, we do have now at PHN Home a new thread for paper crafts. So this will include journaling, this will include card making, drawing,
origami.
So everything that you can think that would be a paper craft.
We just want to open up a little bit, just a little bit, to things. If we're doing it, then we might include it in the threads. Yeah. See,
it doesn't mean that there'll necessarily be prizes for it, but it's a way to share.
It's a way to share, and if we feel generous, who knows? We might do something, but because we could be eclectic sometimes, and I'm looking at myself.
I say, Mom can be eclectic sometimes.
And also we have some people who have had hand issues and things like that. A couple people, actually, that are doing other types of things.
We want to see them.
We want to see them. And we want them to stay with the group. So we opened up this thread that is paper crafts. You're journaling, you're drawing, you're origami.
And you don't have to show us what you're writing, obviously.
Oh,
but
no.
Some people do these really pretty journals.
Emma.
Or the actual making of the journals.
Now, Emma's fabulous. And Pat has got some really, really interesting journals, and she's posted those already in that thread.
Yeah, because you can think outside the box how it can work as a paper craft. We'll be interested in seeing it.
Yes, it could be very inspirational, and I like to see what people are using their journals for. I mean, do you use it for personal? Do you use it as a diary? We don't want to see what you wrote. Just that's your personal stuff, but how did you put it together? Do you have headings? Do you have it plain? Do you use...
Are you super duper organized?
Or are you just like me, where it's kind of like, bah!
Are you artsy with it, or you just do like bullet points, which is more like what I tend to do, which is like...
And then there's Pat, who kind of does a mixture. She kind of does... look at Pat's.
There is an older journaling thread
that we are now moving to.
Well, it's in the same area, but...
Right, but what I'm saying is journaling will be...
Yeah, it'll be...
That,
I just didn't get rid of her thread, but you can see the pictures.
You should lock it.
I probably should.
You should lock it, or I'll lock it, or Pat will lock it, or somebody will lock it. Well, Pat can't lock it, but somebody can lock it. Look at her journals. They're really inspirational. She's got an interesting way of doing things. I try to do headings, and then I'm like, but I don't have a heading for this, and I don't have a heading for it. So I don't know if headings and it's like me and outlines for writing. I write first and then I outline. Yes. Anyway, that's a long ramble to get into.
Yeah, I just wanted to let people know that the paper crafts thread is there. Just like we have, even though not been terribly active on there is a books thread where people can recommend books that they're reading, both fiction and nonfiction, including it's got a rating scale if you want to.
Rating for stars.
It's not just rating for stars. It's rating for like. This is, I don't know, mature. This is...
Yeah.
I stole it from a site somewhere. I can't remember what the site was. And they had, like, what it took to rate it. Because, you might read something that would just be too much for me.
Or me.
I might read something it's just not up your alley or whatever.
So we'd love to see it if you use the rating system, what you think of it as a work. Do you think it's worth reading? And then also, I think this might be a little mature, or this is... G-rated, or this is somewhere in between. We have the rating
What
system.
I liked about the rating system is it makes clear, like, it has, like, specifications. Like, if it's got XYZ thing, it's this.
Right.
So.
And then you know what it is because it's
qualitative.
But what's the word I'm looking for? Where it has conformity. It's, words. It has a standard, for lack of a better term.
It gives you guidelines. Not guidelines. Guidelines is a little too loose.
Guidelines.
You have certain not milestones, but you have certain standards you need to keep up to.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, I had another word.
I had another word in mind. It means that there's something you have to conform to, and there's a word there.
There is a word there.
There is a word. There is
Somewhere.
a word somewhere. Okay, your turn.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
No, somewhere out there.
Yeah. Okay. That's a Five Goes West. Somewhere out there. Another one of those characters as a kid that I totally loved because I liked her voice. Because that's the way I liked characters as a kid is they could sing. That was my one qualification. Hi, baby. Felicia. Okay. So let me look at my show notes.
Well, we forgot to tell them we had our cupcakes today.
Oh, yeah, we had our cupcakes today.
Gluten-free strawberry cupcakes, which is probably why we're on a sugar high, which means we might crash at the end of the podcast, but that's okay.
I just think it's funny that Allison, the podcast she casts is the first time in a while, is a one where I fall asleep.
I told her that we saved it for her specifically. We knew she was coming.
Bringing up my show notes. There we go, and starred.
What are you doing?
I'm bringing up my show notes.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. I need to bring up 501. It looks like I forgot to unstar 500 and star 501. There we go. Okay.
I'm going to have to change this in my notes.
So you don't get yourself confused?
Yeah. So I don't have to go, I'm going to go to 500 to 502.
Yeah. Sorry, it's being slow. It's doing its thing where...
And if you hear bouncing upstairs, Davina's working out.
Yeah. I have 501 started and 500 not. My phone's just being stupid. Okay. Open. Okay, I think it's finally going to open. Because I think I know which one I'm going to show, but I'd like to have an idea of what order they're in, so I know what I've done.
Well, I had to work on them while you're talking,
Yeah. These have been so slow.
We've had internet issues over here on and off for the last couple of weeks.
Molasses. There we go. Okay. So the first one is in my Silver Shed USA 10-year podiversary bag. This is my larger one. And it has in it my Project Canary song. The pattern is Comfort Yourself with Your Music from Little Women Knits by Joanna Johnson.
Eligible for Tea and Tails.
Yes, eligible for Tea and Tails. Also for Autism Awareness.
Yes, with that color, yep.
So I have, let's see. I have 3 12-row repeats before I can think about the sleeves. So, but these rows I feel like they go really quickly. So, because I'm working sideways and it's more of a shawl sweater. And it's a really intuitive pattern. See, there's my
It's looking really nice.
sleeve holes.
It can almost be a vest now.
Yeah,
Do you have
except
a
that
collar on it already? Or is it just kind of...
no, it's really a it's a shawl sweater. Like it just is gonna sit.
As it sits.
Yeah. It's an interesting.
I like the way it looked.
Yeah. Because when she was sitting, it literally just looked like a shawl that just randomly had sleeves attached. So I will eventually. My goal is to eventually knit this color into a sweater of some sort. It'll probably be with the Owls because you get so much yardage with it.
You have to be able to pay for it, though. It's
Yeah,
expensive.
well, it's almost like I have to, like, gain the yarn slowly.
You will, because that yarn now, you're talking about, I don't know how many you'd need of that, maybe 3?
Possibly. I know this one, I could potentially, look how much I have on this. I don't think I'm going to finish this skein for this
You have
sweater.
1.5 left.
I have one, and I have another skein or 2 that you got me for Christmas that's also...
So you might not need any more.
Right. And then I can maybe wait the hood I want to make until later, because then it's just one skein
right.
versus...
Because unfortunately, I'm not saying that they're overpriced, but they are pricing themselves out of my range.
Right, but it's easier to eventually get one skein than to get a whole sweater's worth later. And then I had to just find I think this had to be like a cabled sweater.
Why?
Because I think that it would show the cables really well.
Okay, but why would it have to be a cable sweater?
I'm just saying it has to be because some of the other yarns I might want to use that I already own won't necessarily show cables as well.
Right.
That's what I mean by have to. Also, I enjoy cable sweaters.
Well, that's a want, not a have.
Yeah. Because also this is a rather... There's not a lot going on with the yarn. So...
It's very plain.
Yes. So this is one that you kind of want something going on with the pattern so you don't lose interest.
Right. Well, that's like my slate ones.
Because it doesn't matter how much you love the yarn color. If you're doing miles of stockinette, your brain's going to die.
I don't think your brain will die. It might freeze up, but it won't die.
No, it'll literally
It's
die.
not toxic to do that.
It's a Britney Spears song.
I don't care. You have another project.
I know, I do. So I'm just finishing my last few stitches because this is the one I get to show. So I unfortunately... Oh, by the way, No, I told the back. Okay. In my Silver Shed USA large bat signal bag, and I'll show that in a second. I just have 3 stitches to finish on this. 2 stitches. 1 stitch. Blast off. Okay, you are in the way.
She says she is never in the way, except when she's on my shoulder. When I'm trying to crochet. There you go, Felicia.
So, this is the bag. She wants to hug your head.
Is that what she's doing?
Okay. So, there's a sad story to tell about this.
Are you sitting down, Allison?
So, I discovered when I got to a point where I thought I was going to be able to do the decreases for the neck, I never did the decreases for the armholes. So, I had to take back, like...
Gorilla arms.
Well, not even gorilla arms. There would have been no place for the armholes to go. So, like on this one here, okay, I had to tink like that much. from here to here. So many inches. So I've decreased for the armholes now.
Is that big enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you got to remember, it's pieced with this one.
Right.
So it makes a
Bigger hole.
And it ends up being quite tall. So it's actually, when you're used to doing a woman's sweater, it seems ginormous. You're just like, that's an awful lot of room for an arm. And then you remember, like, a guy has bigger arms and shoulders and stuff. So
Holding it up with your arm.
yes. So yes, this is in the Puget Sound colorway. It's Cascade 220. I can't remember the number. I just looked it up at one point and saw that the colorway is Puget Sound. And I'm doing the Fundamental Men's Pullover for my dad. It's designed by Jen Hagen. And it's not Jen Hagen's fault. I just didn't quite understand what she meant. I think I must have had brain fog. I didn't register when the armholes would be. Even though I registered for the sweater, for the back of the sweater. This is the front here.
The other one was the back of the sweater. It's different.
So
it was a different you.
I got confused, and now it's all better for a little while.
Tea made it all better.
No, I figured this out while listening to an audiobook, and then it's like, oh snap. So yeah.
Is that your second one?
That is my second one.
All right, the one I'm going to show you now is the one I'm working on. Excuse me. Let me just put a marker in here.
I'm sorry, I thought of Chris's story where he goes, fudge.
Oh, Christmas Story. I think you said Chris's Story. I'm like,
No, Christmas Story.
oh. I know. Okay. Let me get my stitch marker out of here so I can lock my stitch into place. This is in my Cloverbird pink and purple teacups bag. Teacups and teapots. Such a pretty bag. And this is my Comfy Cozy Shawl project from the Scrap Shawl pattern by Anastasia Sattel. That's this shawl, but in this color.
Yeah, she's borrowing my shawl because she's cold.
'Cause I'm freezing. Cold is an understatement. I'm a little better now since I've had tea and I have the shawl on. But see, it is growing. And I'm hoping that I can finish this in the next few weeks, hopefully sooner, because I'd like to be able to wear it before it gets really hot.
The thing is, this shawl, and it's good for all the weathers.
Well, but when it's hot, you don't necessarily want anything.
But in the house,
Yes.
with the air conditioning.
And I do bring sweaters and things whenever I go shopping or go to the church, because you never know what they're going to do with the air conditioning in those places. And sometimes it can be really cold. For those of you who've been with us for a while, I think I've told the story where you'd go, when we were in Texas, in the summer, it would be, hot, obviously. Because Texas. And we'd go into the store, and I swear they ought to have some kind of a transition area, because you walk outside, and then inside you go from 90 to like 40. At least it feels like 40, because they got the air conditioner going, like maybe it's 65 or 70 or something, and it's just freezing. I think someone who has a heart condition might have a heart attack. It's just
someone like me who doesn't handle sudden changes in anything.
Yeah, and so and they may not be that way anymore. I just remember it. My point is that's when I started saying, oh, I better keep a sweater. And then especially when we got here, it was just, I carry sweaters all the time. Because
you just never know.
You never know. People are, I guess maybe they like colder, I don't know. They're warmer blooded or something. I don't know. I have to have a sweater with me at all times in terms of going out places. I can feel that.
I pretty much always have a sweater or shawl within arm's reach. At least one.
When I'm at home, a lot of times I'll have a blanket that's nearby, and I can just pull that if I want to.
But a shawl's just a blanket that's socially appropriate for you to carry around.
I know, but I have to laugh, because if I lay down and Davina sees me close my eyes for 5 seconds, all the blankets come down. I have all the blankets on me, which sometimes could be very warm. but she knows not to do the one that you guys made Mike and I for our anniversary. I'm very particular about how I use that one, so she'll get something else. Because I don't know exactly how to wash that one. It's so big, and it's got so many different kinds of yarn. I'm afraid that if it gets dirty, I won't know how to use it. And it's such a beautiful blanket. I look at every
You
time
need to find a place to put it, though, where it's going to be more seen.
It is seen. It's right there when you walk into
Yeah.
to the living room.
Yeah.
I love it. And when I refold it, somebody else is always shown on there.
Right.
So it's nice. But that takes care of that.
Okay, so let me then show in my bucket bag, sheepy bucket bag, where they're sewing and spinning and
Can't be having sewing and spinning and stuff.
throwing little sheep. Okay, then he's got to have made like an amigurumi or something. That's just so. Why is it throwing a little sheep?
Maybe it's, let me see it. Maybe it's a sheep fairy.
Look,
Doesn't have any
it
wings.
just threw a little sheep in the air.
Maybe it's jumping from one to the other.
But where? Why? What is the story behind this sheep throwing this little orange sheep?
We'll have a little brainstorm about it. About the.
Is it an amigurumi? Just throwing the poor amigurumi in the air?
Jumping. I think it's jumping. It stole some of the.
But the big sheep's arm is like this, like it threw.
Maybe it's trying to stop it.
And the terror on this little orange sheep's face.
I can't see that. I can't see that.
You can't see it? Mm-mm. Oh, well, he looks terrified.
I have to put my glasses on to do that. I don't want to, Laura.
And like the sadistic delight in this sheep's face, like ha ha ha. Okay, anyway, painting sheep as well.
Painting sheep.
Here's a painting sheep
Oh, fun.
and a scrapbooking sheep.
Yay.
So like all the sheep's doing all the things, including torturing little orange sheeps. Which I really hope is just an amigurumi that he just got delighted that he finished, because otherwise it'd just be cruel and unusual. Anyway, in this bag is Franklin. He is a plaid. Well, that's the name of the platypus I'm making for Mom.
Yay.
The pattern name is Freddie the Platypus, or I think it's actually, the pattern might be Freddie Platypus.
Mm-hmm.
And it's by Joanna Johnson. It's from her book. I think it's Freddie's...
Day out or something? Or?
No. It's like either Freddie's Blanket, I think.
Okay.
Because they're based off of, like there's one character's sweater.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure it's Freddie Blanket, though, for this one. Different one. I think maybe it's Phoebe's sweater. I can't remember. She has a bunch of cute little kid books that then have patterns in the back. And if you look on her reviews on Amazon, there are people who do buy it just for the book.
Because the artwork's fabulous.
Oh, the artwork is amazing. And the artwork's done by Joanna's husband, who does a really great job. So, I'm making this platypus for Mom. Didn't make a whole lot of progress.
Yay.
Oh, hey, look, this matches. I didn't even
Matchy-matchy.
notice this.
Matchy-matchy.
So, my Silver Studio USA, my Slip Stitch Studios, these are actually my favorite DPN holders. I don't think they're making them this way anymore. But it has like a little zipper to put the ones you're not using in, and they're padded, they're like quilted, and they're long, so like they fit just about any DPN I want to put in here. So I don't think they're making this way anymore, which is really sad. I'm glad I have as many of them as I do, because I kind of hoarded them when I could. But yeah, this also has crafting sheep on it.
They're not throwing things.
No, they're not torturing poor little orange sheep, or torturing poor little orange amigurumi sheep. So yes, like last time, here is his bill, and here are his arms.
It's like a deranged puppet.
How rude!
I'm looking forward to getting that.
It does look like a sock puppet or something.
But not like that puppet from Batman.
No, but he's not a sock puppet. He's ventriloquy
he's a
dummy.
ventriloquist dummy.
Yeah.
Dummy.
Yeah, he's kind of... even though I know that the actual villain has to be the guy who controls it, because they never...
Well, he's criminally insane.
He's criminally insane, because it's not the dummy.
No.
I mean, I know that could be in comics, but
Right.
Batman's villains don't tend to be quite as... I don't know, magical?
Yeah, with the exception of, there's one that, what's her name, always deals with. She's in that universe, Satana.
Yeah, but that's her storyline. It's not Gotham.
Well, he deals with what's his name, the one who turns into an ogre.
Oh, you're talking about... oh, bless, not ogre. You're talking about...
Demon.
Oh, yes. Jason Blood is the
Right.
person's name.
And it's begins with a G, doesn't it? Gorgon or something?
No. He speaks in rhyme. I can see him in my mind's eye.
I can see him too. He had red eyes.
I think he actually has his own comic.
But he started with Batman. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I know we saw him in Justice League. I'm not sure exactly where he got to start because he's actually not a character I consistently read. Darn, it's going to come to me later.
Yeah.
But I know exactly which character. I always liked it when he showed up in Justice League. And Jason Blood is an interesting character.
He is.
Oh, I had it and went away. Okay, anyway, but yes, usually, because at first I thought you were talking about Grundy.
Oh no, but he's not magic really.
No, he's not. But anyhow, I think also might be more related to what's her name, who tends to show up in his blast. She's got the kid.
The kid.
It was in the Justice League episode where they all turned into kids. Her kid is magical. Oh, what's her name?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a good episode. Anyway.
Have you done ones? How many have you done?
Oh, I just showed this one, so I need to show another one.
Yeah.
Sorry. We were caught in the details for Justice League, the animated series. I think that was from the original. I'm just trying to find the sweater that I'm trying to pull out. I think that was from the original version, where it's just the five of them.
I had his name.
Oh, yeah. Darn it. It's there. Oh, it's like I can almost...
Well, the minute it's like I see him and I hear Bruce talking.
Yes.
Batman talking, and I got the name, and then it's like, nope.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna drive me insane. So, Bruce needs to stop saying him in my head in a way that I can't hear him. Like he's muttering. Why is he muttering?
Because that's a way of controlling.
That would be totally Bruce.
Yes, it would. Sorry, guys. We tend to geek out occasionally.
I think he actually has a sadistic sense of humor. I think it's that from Alfred.
Alfred's not sadistic.
Alfred has a sense of humor.
He does, but not sadistic.
But Alfred has a weird sense of humor. He usually it's not weird. It's snide little side remarks.
Yes, but that's not not anywhere near what you're saying Bruce is doing.
Yeah, that's true. But Bruce's sense of humor is interesting.
Yeah, some people don't think he has a sense of humor.
No, he totally does.
I know he does, but some people don't think it's funny.
Well, no one says it's actually funny.
Because nobody tells them that.
Dick would.
I think Barbara would.
Yes, they're probably Selena.
Yeah. Oh, Selena, yeah.
Sorry, guys. Okay, we're done.
For now.
Yes, we're on first name basis.
We
with
really
these
are
characters.
sane. Yes.
No, we belong in Arkham.
No. No, I don't like Joker.
But Harley's not bad.
She's a fruitcake.
She is a fruitcake. But with a little bit of help.
No, she's a fruitcake.
Do you like fruitcake?
Not particularly.
I've never had fruitcake.
I have. It was really funny. I don't really like it, but I was pregnant with her, and I had to have my mom send me some.
But is hers different than other fruit? Because I know there's two different kinds of fruitcake. There's the British fruitcake, and then there's the American fruitcake. And they're different.
Your grandma made the kind that your great-grandmother made, your mother made.
Okay, so it's the American one, which is apparently worse than the British one.
It's not bad. I mean, it's very heavy, and the joke that, every Christmas somebody gets
the same
fruitcake that goes around.
And it's like a rock.
The ultimate regift. But, sorry guys, your turn. Come on.
So, this is in my super soft brown bag that Mom got me from Knitter's Magic. It's got kitties playing with yarn inside. So, soft kitty.
And she's starting to open up again. She's letting one person at a time. So.
Oh, good. I'm glad she's starting to get...
Yeah.
So, this is Davina's sweater. She doesn't know I'm knitting for her. Whoopsie, hold on, I'm stuck.
You know that fashion show I told you about for her?
Uh-huh.
It would have been on her birthday.
Oh, it's such a shame it's the wrong age.
Yeah.
They had a mother-daughter...
At our church, they have a mother-daughter fashion show and tea. But the kids it's for mothers and daughters. The daughter's 8th grade to 12.
And so Davina's
not in it.
No, but it's on her. She would have enjoyed the fashion show part. So Mom, it's Swish.
Okay, Swish.
This is such a soft yarn. And
It's got a bit of a halo, but it's very soft.
yes. I was concerned at first the cables wouldn't show up. They're showing up lovely.
Beautiful, yeah.
And this is so soft. She needs a heavy sweater. Her idea of a sweater is not a sweater.
It's a summer long sleeve thing.
So it's got this cable in the back. It's not like the ones I tend to make for mine that I have in the past. This is actually a cable pattern
That's really pretty.
it is really pretty. It's more like the antler cable pattern that I have on my antler red sweater.
If you say it's like the antler, she'll be happy about that, you know.
And then I think there's some on the sleeve, if I remember correctly. I chose this because it was bulky, and I knew a bulky sweater for her would go quickly, and I wanted cables, but I didn't want necessarily a full-on cabled pattern. But I think that she will wear it. I purposely chose gray for her, and it's gonna have a zipper, so I think that she'll like that because it might feel more form-fitting. Then
It has to be stylish.
it has to be stylish. I think it having a zipper will solve the stylish thing. So even though it's not quite as cabley as the ones that she likes that I've made,
And the color will...
the color
over
will
the
take
top.
care of it. Yeah. This was the lightest gray they had. I was really torn about what I wanted to do for her, but I knew I wanted a bulky. And I already had the sweater. This is the... Hold on. This is a pattern by Amy Miller. It's called something coat. Oh, Hillcrest coat, I think. Hold on.
Jacket?
No, it's called coat.
I thought the Hillcrest was a jacket.
Coat. Hillcrest coat.
Okay, there's a coat.
And look where it lands.
Oh, that's nice.
It
That's nice,
doesn't look like it has cables on the sleeves, but
Okay, it's hard to tell.
I don't think it does. It has a nice long ribbing.
Yeah. That's
And it
really
has a nice shawl collar. And look, it lands really nicely.
That's a nice length.
It's a nicer length for you and Davina. And it has a nice cable along the side of the zipper. So, right there. It's a nicer length for you and Davina because I tend to keep all my weight in my hips. So, anything like that has the potential of making me look huge, unfortunately. Because I did that Fit to Flatter book. They say if it cuts off above my hips that it's better. I'm not sure if I agree, but
Well, if it's better than if it goes, you know.
I guess if it goes down, it brings more. But I can't do, even though I love it, when they have color work down on the bottom, because that just brings more attention to the hips.
Right.
So I can only do it up here or if it's throughout. But like the really pretty ones where they have the color work here and then the color work down here, not throughout, you and Davina can do those, but I can't. You and Davina can do a lot of styles that I'm not going to be able to do. Because, yes, annoying.
Right. There goes my show notes.
I had a stash in Enhancement Ride. I'm going to slide past you.
Okay. In my Knit for Brains teapot bag, owl teapot bags that Laura Concert gave me, thank you, Laura, is my Arwen's Hooded Cow project from the Thorns Hooded Cow pattern. And this, I believe, there's like 4 or 5 different ways you can do this. I think I'm doing number 3. And I am now on the purl row. I've finished that one very, very long stockinette. So I'm going to do the purl row, and then I'm going to start going into the decreasing number of stockinette rows. And it still looks kind of like a skirt, or maybe a cowl. It's really pretty. The colorway is Miss Babs in the blue slate colorway. And this is a lot of fun. It's kind of a very straightforward, meditative kind of project. I just have to pay attention that I don't short row it, because I'm not paying attention and I go the wrong direction. But yeah, it's nice. You don't have to do too much in the way of paying attention once you get the round started, because you don't change the stitch in the middle.
You've stashed Enhancement too.
Oh, yay! Boy, that was fast.
I didn't sort through the rest in the mail because...
Oh, was the mail that came?
Yes.
Okay.
So I just figured we can sort it afterwards. But I was like, yeah, that's cool. Both Mom and I have stash
Well,
enhancements.
let's not open it now.
No, I'm just going to have it pre-opened.
All right.
I'm not going to actually pull it out yet. I just want to make sure I'm not struggling with it.
Well, this was really fast because I only ordered that a couple of days ago.
Did you really?
Yeah, I ordered it. I think I ordered it Holy Thursday because remember I said I would normally wait, but because it's going away.
That's right. I remember now.
Yeah.
Because you wanted it for something specific.
Yes, I did. So yeah, we're speaking in opacities
Because you'll see it in a
You'll
bit.
see it in a little bit.
So that increased our stash enhancements. Because I get a notification on my watch when things are delivered. So I'm glad. 'Cause sometimes I hate it when you finish it and then it's waiting outside for you.
yeah.
Like, no.
Why couldn't you have come 5 minutes earlier?
That's why if I see it come up on my watch, I'm like, hold on a second. Let me get that thing.
Right.
So we don't have to like wait a whole week to show it and probably forget it. Oops, I'm
That
stuck.
takes care of that. It's your turn.
Yeah, hang on. I'm stuck on apparently hair that I got in my yarn.
Oh, so you just have Daniel have a keepsake.
There we go.
Okay.
I had a boyfriend who used to love when he would find my hair in his clothes and stuff.
So that's the boyfriend or the fiance?
That was the boyfriend. Oh gosh, that makes me sound like I had like a ton of different people I dated, which I didn't.
Not necessarily. I mean, you could add 2 and had that.
Okay. Or it makes it sound like I had them both going at the same time, which is no.
Only if you have a certain kind of mindset. Let's see here.
Okay, so in my... Okay, that's where my DPN went. T, there it is.
T. What are you doing here?
Toothmosis.
What are you doing here?
Is it
Yes, it is
Azog?
a
No, it
reference.
wasn't Azog. That's someone else.
What?
I'm trying to remember that guy's name.
Whose?
The, oh, I had it. Oh, that demon guy who was with Jason Blood.
Asimov.
No, that's not it. Oh,
Asimov?
No,
No.
it's not. Oh, I had it.
All right, well, go back to your stuff. It'll come back to you.
It's like I almost could say it.
Yep. And you're right. It's
Oh,
like as something. Or
No,
Okay, just do your thing.
okay,
Look,
I'm going to have to look it up after this. Because,
It's gonna bug her.
oh my gosh, I actually can hear it. But I can't,
Azarath? No.
no. I can hear like the amount of syllables in my head.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's just out of reach. It's like when you hear something
Laura's probably shouting at
it's like when you're underwater or something, you can kind of hear it, but you can't. Okay, so this is the Cuddly Owl Sweater. The pattern is Ginny's Cardigan by Mari Chiba. I'm knitting this for Mom. I knit this once before in an orange yarn that was acrylic for myself. And this is Mom's Pennies from Heaven yarn. And this is really nice alpaca.
It's very soft.
And
I'm looking forward to getting that when it's done.
so here's the owl.
Not pretty. It has to be such a nice color for that.
I think so too. It's going to show up the pattern really nicely. It's been quite a bit since I've knit this. There's so many. This is the unofficial Harry Potter's knits magazine booklet thingy that was put out by
Interweave.
thank you, Interweave Knits a long time ago.
Yeah, about
And
8 years ago.
It was really hard to find it again because I don't know where my physical copy is.
It was a hard time. It was hard to get it once they sold out because apparently they didn't want it out or something. Or
Maybe, I don't know. I lost my physical form. It's somewhere here in the house. But it's just not where I can find it. Etrigan!
Etrigan. That's not A. That's E.
It's Etrigan. I'm pretty sure it's
Yeah,
Etrigan.
no, you're right. You're right. Something like that. Etrigan. Yeah.
Let me just double check. I think it's Etrigan.
This is how life is at our house. It will bother us until we find it. And
Whoopsie. Not Wetrigan. No, not Utrigan. Who's Utrigan? Yes, Etrigan the demon.
yeah.
Okay, now I feel better. I think the little Justice League episode where they all turned to kids and like they kept passing the baby Etrigan around and Wonder Woman kept ending up with him. It was either Wonder Woman or Green Lantern who kept ending up with him.
So is this still attached to this one? Can I let it go or do I need to do that
Let me
one?
see. Your spling stitch. There you go.
Okay, thanks. Because what happened was I pulled it out too soon. I wanted to make sure I didn't when I put on.
Ah, okay. That felt so good. What makes me feel even better is I remembered on my own without having to look it up. So, pat myself on the back. Only took half the episode. But yeah, this is very soft.
Half the episode? I don't think so.
True. So I do need to get back to this, although I have sweaters that are farther along that need attention before I really get. I'm trying to finish the ones that are closer to finished.
Right.
So then I can give full attention to the ones like this one.
It's unfortunate that you're not further along on Davina's with her birthday coming up.
You know, because I had to pull back on Dad's, Davina's is actually the one that's furthest along. So unless I'm having brain fog, that should be... Well, actually, it's the second furthest along. It's tied with the yellow one. Right. So if I get more attention... It'd be close. Yeah. It'd be close.
Don't put pressure on yourself. She doesn't know it's coming. So.
She doesn't. And it might be a better Christmas present. Anyway.
Yeah, because she won't be able to wear it right away.
Yeah. So.
And she gets really excited. She's very knit-worthy.
Yes, she
Provided she wants what you make. She's very
Besides, we have her birthday present planned.
That's right.
So.
Laura, how's it coming with that particular item? I should contact you because you asked me about it earlier and I got back to you, but I haven't touched base with you. If you need something from me, let me know.
So, apologies for all the veiled references, all the nerding outness. This is the episode of Nerding Out.
I don't apologize. No.
I'm pretty sure they didn't want to have our philosophy on Batman's sense of humor. And then how that's related to Alfred's sense of humor, and then who's going to inform.
But they expect this from us.
I really don't think anyone cared.
I'm wondering if some of the people might not even know who these people are.
Exactly. They'll be like, what the heck are they talking about?
They expect this from us. They would be disappointed. Just like Allison gets disappointed when you're not sleeping.
It's just like, I'm very sorry.
Allison, you poked your head up, you're gonna get Spoken to, yes.
Okay, so I had to find where I was at in my show notes.
And she's used to that.
Because I think I lost where I was at in the show notes because of Etrigan.
Yes.
All Etrigan's fault.
Yes.
Okay, I think I have one more to show. Wow, that was a long time to just move to one project. Where is the other one?
Well, we also had a stash enhancement come in. So.
That's true.
Yeah.
And then Etrigan.
Yeah, he was first. He was the sandwich.
Yes. An Etrigan sandwich?
No, actually, he was the bread. The.
I don't think I want Etrigan in any sort of sandwich.
He might bite you back.
He might.
Okay, moving on.
So in my, this is Knit for Brains.
Yes, same as the bag I had. Only hers is a zip.
Yeah, this is a teapot zip one because I destroy bags with pulls. Even though I have a couple that I've not destroyed, mostly ploverbird ones, for whatever reason, those hold up really well. And the little skin in the big wool, and that bag, for some reason, that one holds up really well. Every other drawstring bag I've ever owned, destroyed.
I stopped buying them. This one holds up really well. This Knit for Brains.
Well, you do a lot better with. I don't know what I have a talent for destroying drawstrings.
What I do with them is I end up, the way you put those in, I'm not sure exactly how they do it, but I end up pulling it so it comes all to one side and I can't close it. So I usually don't get them. This Knit for Brains is really well made.
I just have a habit of getting it I'll get the knot undone and then it'll fray or...
My ploverbird ones hold up really well.
Whatever she did with her bags, I don't know. I wish she was still making bags.
Especially now that both our bag makers have retired pretty much. Although Anne is making some.
Yeah.
She's making box bags now, I think. I don't know if she's doing it for...
I think she likes experimenting with different types of bags.
But I don't think she's going back full time to...
No, I think she's doing it when she feels like it because she enjoys it too much to stop completely.
And she's doing quilting and stuff like that.
Yeah. So anyway, in this bag, of which I speak, is Laura's Hood. That's the project name. The pattern is Thorn's Hooded Cow. It's a free pattern. You could just, Google it or look up on Ravelry and it'll lead you to the site that you need to go to. And this is a nice I Have No Brains project. I really love. I do love the spiraling. I think that that's so much fun.
It is.
And
it looks very... It's almost wintry. It almost reminds me of
Well,
Frozen.
this is a worsted weight yarn, so it would be perfect for winter. It'd be too heavy for the way I use mine, but
It reminds me of Frozen. Like, it reminds me of
it looks
Elsa.
like something. No, it looks like something Anna would wear because Elsa doesn't tend to. Well, no, Elsa wears purple too.
Yeah.
They could either one of them could
Well,
wear
she
it.
wears a bluey purple kind of
Yeah.
thing. It reminds me of Elsa looking on the screen because in my viewpoint it looks a little more blue. But definitely Anna.
Yeah, either one of them could wear this.
Anna with her red hair.
Kristoff couldn't. I mean, you could, but it'd look weird.
Well, I mean, it'd be a hood. I mean,
Okay, we're doing it again.
Doing what?
I'm pretty sure other people don't want to live in our fantasy world
Why not?
because we're weird and we're not grown-ups apparently.
I don't want to be an adult. I had to do that all last week.
You don't want to grow up?
I want to be Peter Pan this week, or Petra Pan.
But Peter Pan, as in like, the movie last where he Hook.
No,
Not that Peter Pan.
no,
No.
he's grumpy.
Who's the one who lost his marbles all the time?
Oh, that was one of the Gloss Boys.
But did they say his name?
No, they
They must have,
they might have done, but I don't remember.
because he kept losing his marbles.
Kept losing his marble. I think that was only in the Hook though.
It is only in Hook.
And you're doing it again.
Well, yeah, you started it this time.
I don't think so.
I blame you. Somehow, it's your fault. Your turn.
Okay, let me just finish this stitch because I don't want to lose it.
It's your time to rescue us from ourselves.
Okay, this is this is my Country Roads blanket from the Jelly Roll pattern by K.F. Jones, and it's in my B-Wing Country bag. This one, which I really love, and this one is holding up remarkably well. Usually, when I have these kind of like ribbon tags, I destroy them. It's working really well, and this is a really nice bag.
I destroyed mine like in 5 seconds. I don't know how I do it.
So this, I've added another color. I did a little bit when we're waiting in the doctor's office for Ty's blood work, and Davina picked out a different color for me. I don't know if you can see. It's kind of a green, blue-green kind of color.
Yeah, the
up
first
here.
time she had to wait a little bit longer because I let a student stick at me, so she had to get her stuff together.
So it's growing. You can see all the different. I've got kind of this purpley pink, and then this multicolor that's got green and purple, and can you see that? Yeah. And then you've got this blue, and then this is a green. This is another blue. This is Captain America, my colorway, and this is
It's okay to be different.
Okay to be different. That's mine as well. And then this is the new one. So I like working on this. This is just garter stitch.
Right.
So unless I do something stupid like slipping all my stitches off my needle like I just did, I'm okay with this. And
Even when you slip all your stitches off your needle, you do a brief little scream, and then you just rescue them all.
Well, I've caught that one that I did. I'm not really good at catching.
I have literally done that. You pull your needle out and do like a little, and then you have to go and catch every single one.
I've done that on occasion, but usually I miss one or two. So
Well, yeah, but even if you miss one or two, you save the majority, and you can usually recreate the one or two that you miss that ladder down a little bit. You just have to make sure you catch the majority of them.
right, and I can see where the yarns are slightly different weight. It might be a little more narrow, but it'll block out.
It'll block out,
And
then
so-
as you attach other ones,
And
it
attach
won't
it,
matter.
It'll be fine. I like. This is the only way I'm going to do blocks. I could make these all the same number of rows, and make them be like 4x4 or 6x6 or whatever. I don't want to. I just want them to be different sizes of the blocks.
I'm just waiting to see. I did show you how to pick up stitches one time, so it's a lot easier than you thought it was. So
So
I'm
there's
hoping-
little bumps.
Well, yeah, because you do it. Kay always has. You would pick up. You see, like there, and there, and there, in between there, in between this and this. So it's very easily set out for you.
Well, I have to learn to see it, and then I'll be fine. But I'm looking forward to that because once I do that, then I'll be off and running. Because that's something that I've always been a little nervous of.
Well, that'll be one more skill you have down to add to your toolbox for you to be able to experiment and go forward with other patterns.
If I could ever find the time to sit down and do things where I learn how to fix, then I would be, able to do more.
Honestly, the best way to learn how to fix is to do and to, when you make your mistake, that everyone makes a mistake while they're knitting. is then trying to see it then. Because personally, I don't work where if I have to sit there and make a swatch and then purposely make mistakes, I won't do it.
The problem with me is that because my hands hurt so much, I don't like to do any extra stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, I do crochet because I understand crochet a bit better. Although I like designing knitting better because all the stitches remain the same height.
Right.
And you don't have to play around with how's this going to be even, or is it going to pull, or is it going to do this or the other thing.
Now, it is nice for crochet, at least when you design toys, you can use the fact that the stitches are uneven to do shaping in a way that you can't do in knitting. You have to use increases. It might take a few more rows to get the shaping that you would want for the knitting, whereas just with crochet, it might just take, you did a shell or whatever. So it has its pros and cons depending on what you're trying to do.
I think it's weird. I think better crocheting in terms of I see it better.
Right.
But because I can see what I'm doing better. And I'm not afraid to fix it. But I design better when I think about designs. I do it better for knitting. And I wouldn't probably do toys.
Down.
I wouldn't do it probably for toys regardless. But flat stuff I would do either one. And it's just kind of weird that my only pattern out there is a very simple shawl that's knitted.
You gotta remember that for a long time, I didn't have any knit patterns out, and I've been primarily a knitter for quite a while.
Yeah.
And it took until 2020 for me to design. Well, I guess Duke has been out for a while, but Duke isn't truly that big of a deal.
Right. Well, neither is my little shawl.
But it's still something out under our name, right?
Yep.
Okay. My turn. In my Silver Shed USA books bag, books that probably belong in Belle's library bag, I would totally imagine these on the shelves of the library that Beast gave her.
Spent a lot of time in there.
Yes. I love the levels, and
yes.
I would be terrified to go on that ladder. But I think it's cool.
Sit on one of the rungs and go whoosh.
Because I just remember when we had, I don't know if you remember, but one of the times when we had to go on a hop and they had us climb a ladder.
Oh, I remember. I was terrified they were going to drop you.
I was so terrified. Because I don't like heights.
Because we went, I think, for my sister's wedding.
Yeah, because I was quite young, and maybe that was the genesis of my fear of heights.
That was the same time we went and looked at that. They had that clear bowl that you guys, because it was some kind of a gunner ship or something at one time, and you could look in this, like, for lack of a better term, plexiglass. It was much stronger, but and I was like, okay, if we fall out of here, we're dead, because we're like 5,000 feet up.
Oh, is that the one where the guys were cool enough to let Davina and I come up to the cockpit?
It might be. We had,
because we were like the only kids.
Yeah, it was a Space A flight, so it was something else. Getting up and down the ladder with the kids was interesting. Oh yeah, see, here's the one I was talking about, Tycee.
Oh yeah, I see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that might have been the genesis of my fear of heights, because I can't stand heights.
I don't like heights either.
Like, I don't even like the, I'm terrified of the little, drop in malls. Like, I can't stand near the railing. I will freeze in terror.
Those aren't little drops.
But, like, I can't even stand near it. Some people are able to lean against them, or even, I cannot stand near them. I had to be a good distance away. And if other people are near them, I'm kind of freaked, too.
I think I lost my hook. Where'd my hook go?
Okay, so in this bag, I don't know why it's Belle's fault. No, actually it's Beast's fault, because he gave her the library and had ladders. This is my Kingfisher Socks. Well, it's one sock currently. The pattern is Vanilla Latte Socks by Virginia Rose Jeans. And I love this. The heels are, I always say it, juniper. I don't know why I always think of juniper as like a green.
I always think it's a green as well.
Yeah.
What color is it?
Blue.
Maybe the berries are blue. I always thought they were green, but
maybe it's like a blue-green.
Maybe.
I don't know. But this is definitely blue. I think this is great. I need to work on it more. I love this yarn. It's beautiful.
I have to find my G hook, because apparently I lost it.
Oh no.
Okay, there's where the problem is. Right there.
Have you lost it or can you just not find it?
Can't find it. Yes, it is a reference. Sorry, guys. We're very reference heavy today.
Yes. So, that is it for me. Oh, for this one. I have one
Both of
more.
them? Yeah.
I don't think I did a whole lot on this one. I actually don't think I did a whole lot on the next one I had to show either. Where did you come from?
Okay.
Stay in the bag. I'm pretty sure this was in this bag.
All right, there we go.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't go far enough.
In my little skein in the big wool bag, Velveteen Rabbit. This is my rainbow socks. Well, I would say these are.
Wow.
But there's only one of them, so this is my rainbow sock. But the pattern is Vanilla Cream by K.F. Jones. Yes, I had to work very, very hard not to mix up with the vanilla latte socks with vanilla cream. They're just slightly different. This one's a true vanilla sock.
That's pretty.
And actually, I don't think I know the name of this yarn because I think
Did you get that from,
this looks like wild hair.
it could be one, it reminded me of, what's her name? The one who likes her stripes so much. I don't know if you ever got any of hers.
I did, but I used it in a pair of socks, I think. You're talking about Dancing Dog Dye Works?
No.
You're talking about Cyber Craft Room?
The one who, she was really popular, Laura would know with. It was a duo on the podcast.
The mother-daughter?
No. She had all these stripes, all different stripes.
I don't think I did any of hers.
But, she'd have sometimes 15 row stripes sometimes.
I remember people talking about something like that, but I don't think I got any.
I forget her name.
I'm pretty sure this is wild hair. It looks like a wild hair.
The color looks similar to
The color looks like... I mean, wild hair doesn't do a ton of stripes. She tends to do more like you do. You guys have very similar... Like, sometimes I can't tell if it's your yarn or her yarn because you guys have very similar tastes. But I think this might be wild hair. I'm not really sure. Because I lost a ball band a long time ago. This purple is Mom's, though.
It's not Madtosh. It begins with an M, I think. Mustache. Mustache yarn.
I never got any mustache.
I think it's mustache yarn.
I never got any mustache yarns. And then I'm going to be using a green Mom dyed up for the toe. And then on the other sock, I'll switch.
What happened to my hook?
Is it attached to the project somehow?
No.
Excuse me.
I don't know what happened. My hook.
You probably put it in.
I probably put it in a different bag. Yeah. So I was trying to be good and put the hooks back
When you were done using
when I
it.
was done using
You probably got it out while you were working on something else and you weren't done with the other thing. So, yeah, this is the last one of my two.
Okay. This project is in my Emma Owl's bag. And this is my Ice baby bag. Not bag, my Ice Baby blanket. And what I ended up doing, I just tore back on the podcast here to that place where I had done the wrong stitch. I just have to complete this stitch. Once I find my G-hook, I'll complete this stitch and move on. That's what I like about crochet. It's so much easier to fix.
You see, I find myself when I crochet wanting to drop down, which you can't do with crochet. And I'll be like, oh, I need to pull back.
I don't have a problem with crochet. It's just...
Why can't I just drop down?
I need to go back, because one of the stitches that really gave me trouble when I was crocheting, and I stopped trying after a while, was the pineapple stitch.
Well, doesn't it hurt your hands?
I've never done the pineapple stitch.
Oh.
I can never get it to work. So I'm going to have to try that again, but it's not 3 o'clock already, is it?
No. It's a medicine reminder. I don't have to do it the second, though.
So the yarn is ice yarn that Chronically Crocheting gave me 3 skeins, and I'm on the 3rd skein now. And I think it'll make a nice baby blanket.
I do, too.
And we have several people in our church who are expecting.
So who will be the lucky winner?
And I might give one to, if I've got to make another one. I have another few skeins of ice yarn that I was given, I believe, by Kara. Was it Kara?
I think it was, yes.
I think it was. I know I thanked her. I just can't remember who it was now.
I'm pretty sure it was Kara. because she was going to send us a little package and it was huge.
Oh, and it was huge. Yes, it was Kara. Thank you, Kara.
Thank you.
And it's sport weight, and it's got a few more skeins, so I should be able to make a baby blanket out of that. So maybe that one will go to the pregnancy center, maybe that one will go to the person. I don't know. I like making these. I probably will always have one of these blankets on the hook because it makes a good gift.
Yeah.
And yeah, the little fingers can get in there, but it's not going to get stuck too badly.
Right.
Or anything. It's just, you know. But I don't have can't find my G hook. I don't know what I did with it, so I'll have to find another one. I'm sure I have one over there somewhere.
I'm sure it's somewhere.
Yeah. It's probably in another bag somewhere. I don't know. I gave you mine one of these, so I'm not going to give you this back.
Yes, you did. You replaced it with the same color, so we're all good.
It matches my bag. It's all matchy-matchy.
Well, that as long as it matches your bag, that's all that's important. Okay.
Oh, the tea's not gone. Oh.
In my Silver Shed USA 10-year anniversary or 10-year podiversary bag, this is the smaller and this is the medium. I have the torch socks in here. The pattern is Not Just Boring Boot Socks by Corinne Walcher. And I'm using Lady Furnicle Creation Sport, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon in the colorway Flame On. So here's sock 1 is all done.
Very nice.
With my adjusted toe to make it rounded instead of pointed. So it's more attractive.
It must be attractive.
Well, I don't like pointed toes. I feel like I'm like an elf or something.
Wicked Witch of the West.
Or like, you know, the elves who have I think it is actually in
Elf.
yeah, where the toes are turned up and kind of like curled.
What Christmas elves?
Yeah. So here's my second sock begun. So yeah, progress has been made. I have another skein of yarn that's an undead yarn that's impatiently waiting its turn for when this sock is done. I have several skeins that are lined up. So there we go. This is a nice pair of socks to have on the needles.
Is that the Dance of Light?
No, this is Not Just Boring Boot Socks.
Oh, right, you said that.
For a long time, this is has been my go-to because it's got that ribbing to it, and also it's a very simple pattern. It's got it's got a rhythm to it. I was gonna say it had a pattern to it, but I'm like, yes,
it
the
hits
pattern
you with its rhythm stick.
has a pattern. Okay, so the last one I had to show. You already showed your last one?
Mm-hmm. Okay. This is my last one, period.
Yeah. So this is my last one, period, too. In my Silver Shed USA Kitties in the News bag, this is the Jade Cardigan. The pattern is open front cardigan. Yes, very creative. It's pattern number 3389, which sounds like, you know, a prisoner number, you know, 24601, by Plymouth Yarn Company, INC. So,
I didn't realize you started that.
I showed it last time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And this is...
Oh, it has that weird construction.
Yeah, it has that weird construction where it goes along the back and then you keep going. And this is the, it's alpaca. It's baby alpaca from Knit Picks.
Wool of the Andes.
No.
Isn't it Wool of the Andes?
No, Wool of the Andes is not alpaca. This is Andean Treasure.
Andean Treasure, that's right, yeah.
It's sport weight. The colorway is Aurora Heather. This is a really nice yarn for a sweater. If I was to make this sweater for myself, I would do it in black in this yarn. Because they have a black heather.
Is it dark or is it kind of a dark gray?
It might be a dark gray. It's quite dark. I don't know. I have to take a look at it again. I'm pretty sure they have something that's either very close to black or that is a true black. Because I need a black sweater. I don't tend to wear a lot of gray. I do wear some brown, but I tend to gravitate toward things that need black.
Well, you have a lot of bright colors.
Even though brown has made more of an appearance in my wardrobe since I've turned more autumnal, I do tend to have a lot of black in my wardrobe. Not gray. Hardly ever gray.
I honestly don't have a lot of gray in my... I just like gray.
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't have more gray. It works with your color schemes of blues and greens and stuff.
Even my reds does.
You see, I don't feel like gray works with red.
Oh, I do. Depending on the type of red you have.
Maybe it's just where
the type of red.
It might just be because I don't know.
You just don't wear it that way.
Yeah, I have a hard time picturing red with gray, even though I know it probably works. It's just, to me, red is like either black or brown. I don't know.
I don't like red with brown that much.
Oh, I think it's good with brown, but then that's the autumnal that I like.
Well, I like autumnal colors too, but it's just, It has to be it's too dark
Um,
or something.
because I think if the brown has almost an orangey tint, or if your red is an orangey red with the with any kind of brown, really.
See, I feel like the kind of some of the wine colored reds, like a burgundy or whatever, goes with the brown.
You see, I'm not a huge burgundy person.
That's not what I said.
Yeah.
I said that it goes well with the, with that color.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you done, or do you have one more?
I am done.
Okay. In my,
How did you end up with one after me?
because you started with 2 ahead of me.
Yes.
This is my Universal Studios bag. It's a canvas bag. It's really sturdy. It's one of. I always feel like when you go to these theme parks or whatever, things that you get are kind of cheap. This is a really nice bag from Universal Studios, and I've got in here my Virtual Hugs pattern from the Scrap Shawl pattern by. It's a Virtual Hugs project from the Scrap Shawl pattern by Anastasia Sattel. Yes, I do.
I think the Maryland Sheep and Wool one was pretty good.
Okay.
The bag.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is my Virtual Hugs shawl pattern, shawl project from the Scrap Shawl pattern by Anastasia Sattel, and this I'm using an eye hook for this.
Have you changed colors?
Not yet.
Oh.
Because I didn't work much on things this week.
Yeah. I couldn't remember if you were at a point where you're thinking about changing colors.
I am
on
at a
it.
point where I'm thinking about changing colors. So this is it so far, and I'm about ready to change this purple out for.
I think you should give it to her just like that.
Yeah, she won't be happy with that.
A little neckerchief.
She's like, Mom, what am I supposed to be doing with this?
a shawl for a dog.
No, Chewy doesn't get this. Anyway, so yeah, this is for Laura, in case you're wondering. She wanted one, so.
But not for Chewy.
Not for Chewy. So I'm working on it, and I enjoy this, as you know, because I have 2 of these on the hook, and yeah. This one did get a lot of work because, like I said, I didn't do a lot of work on anything. I basically worked on 2 projects that weren't on the podcast last week. I mean, they did work on the podcast, but I worked on them some more.
Right.
After the podcast because I had waiting room time, and I intended to do more, but honestly, we didn't have that much wait time.
No.
And so
the longest you had is when I had the student stick me, and even she didn't take that long.
So that's all I had to say about that.
Okay, so that should lead us on to FOs, which neither of us have. Because my snake donut has felt ignored and is crying in the corner. Even though he doesn't have a head yet, he is just a donut body that hasn't been sewn together yet. So he's trying to cry, but he can't let the tears out because he doesn't have any head. Which sounds horrible.
It does.
Not
Not as bad as your one that's walking around with no clothes.
No, I think even worse is the one that has like one arm made.
Oh, gee.
And like has no other arm. It
was the one-armed man. Sorry, guys. Yes, it was a reference.
Yes, that was.
And that one you should get. It's not difficult.
I mean, I guess it depends on whether or not they watch that kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's been parodied too.
Has it? Okay.
Yeah, and it was done in one movie and it was parodied in another one.
Oh, okay. Anywho.
Yeah. Yes.
Or
yeah.
I don't really have shop news.
Shop news. I have one of the kits left, and I think probably that person is a little behind podcast because of Lent. I think she was probably not doing a whole lot online. So your kid is still there. I'm not going to mention her name. She knows who she is. So all the other ones are out, and I hope to be able to dye yarn soon. As soon as she gets her kit, I'm hoping that I can show you a small little something I want to do with regarding the shop. So I just don't want to give anything away. So I'm trying not to build it up while still saying that we're going to be doing something.
Right. So don't like build it up huge in your head or whatever.
Yeah. It's just a small little thing. So
itty bitty.
So, but I hope it'll be fun. So and then I hope to dye up some yarn. In fact, I can tell I haven't been dyeing up yarn because Davina stopped me the other day. I think it was Good Friday. And
I think it was Good Friday.
And she was like, Mom, are you going to dye yarn today? I'm like, no, my head hurts and I want to go to bed. So I said, no, I'm not. I don't have time. I have, we had all the mass things or religious activities and all that kind of stuff. I didn't have time to dye yarn. So even if I could concentrate, which I couldn't at that point. So I know that I need to get back to that and get things into my shop so it's not just the same things rotating over and over again.
Right.
But I hope to do that soon and go from there.
Okay, so then that leads us on to stash enhancements.
Yes, we have stash enhancements.
Yes, we do. And some of them arrived while we were sitting here. I had to show this one first because this one was a little surprise.
I left mine over there.
I got this a couple days ago.
Before Easter.
I think it might have been Good Friday because I think I wanted to show you, but you went to bed early.
Yeah, because I gave it to you, but I didn't open it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we all, she gave each, JD sent Davina one, and then we each got one.
Yeah, so Brittany's mom made the card, and Brittany saw it and sent it on to me. It's a Happy Easter card. Look at that bunny.
It's so adorable.
Isn't he cute?
Little Lopper
So
bunny.
he is so precious.
Oops.
And he is adorable.
Yes, he's adorable. And I got a very nice card that I left over there that Brittany made for me as well. So thank you, Brittany.
Well, this was made by Brittany's mom.
Right.
And then we have something in common. Here. Yeah.
It's there's a litany that was written by this sister, and what this does is it takes each verse of the litany and there's a chapter on it. So we're probably going to use this as a Bible study instead of doing it day by day, because that would only take us like through a month. We're probably going to do it Sunday by Sunday.
Yeah.
And
because I think we'll get more out of it that way instead of feeling rushed.
And then the back of it, you have the Litany of Trust itself,
Yeah.
the whole thing written here. And this is by, it's a, Jesus, I Trust in You, a 30-day personal retreat with the Litany of Trust. And the Litany of Trust was written by Sister Faustina Maria Pia S.V.
But not the Saint Faustina who writes the
No,
diary.
She's a sister, she's one of the Sisters of Life.
Yeah. So yes, I think this would be a good one to start with now once it's done. And then Mom got me this from the same place that you got.
Yes, well, I'll show you now. Okay, now people are going to laugh who knows me, okay? My husband says, do you really need another mug? And I said, well, no, but this one, yes. I have to have this one. It's like, oh, okay. This is a 16-ounce mug.
It honestly doesn't look 16 ounce.
Is that me or not?
That's great.
It says, for those of you maybe who can't see it too well, it says definitely not coffee. I despise coffee, okay? I can't have it in anything except maybe there's a little chocolate cake at the Chinese restaurant we have that must have a little bit of coffee in it.
One of the breads.
Yeah, but I can't taste it in
Yeah.
that. I can actually taste a little bit of coffee in that, but so minuscule it doesn't bother me too much. But this is a 16-ounce mug, and
It's like, it doesn't look like it'd be 16 ounce. I know it says that.
so. 16 ounces. 16 ounces of your favorite liquid. Not coffee, though. That's not my favorite liquid. So, and it's metal, like a tin cup, kind of, and you're supposed to hand wash it. It's from the Swag Brewery, and apparently they have a website called swagbrewery.com. I didn't get it there. I got it at a local shop in town where I got her Simpson Vale. So yeah,
And this is the Edgar Allan Poe blend, which I've been known to like.
my husband just kind of shook his head. So okay, you can go ahead and get it. So yeah,
Weirdo.
anything else?
I have books.
I have yarn.
Okay, so the first week, we were talking about on BookTube, someone had read Gone with the Wind, and she was describing how well written the characters were. You know, she said, keep in mind the time period you're dealing with, but she says, you know, you don't always like the characters, but the way it's written, it's a really good view of the South post the Civil War, and how...
Recently post.
Yeah.
It's during and post.
Yes, and it's like, she's like, how difficult it was to live in the South during that period. This is a huge book. I wanted to get this because I just wanted to make sure it was a really nice price. This is actually considered a collector's edition. It is a 1960 something reprint of the 1934, 36.
39. That's when it came out. Is that when that was written though? Let me see.
It was from the first reprint of the first edition.
Yeah, the movie. Okay, publication 1936.
Yeah, so it's off of 1936 original edition. This is a reprint of that.
And this is over 700 pages.
In
and
teeny print.
Look at this print. I mean, It's just, I wanted to get this, but I can't find a good price on it.
No, because I got this for $12, free shipping and handling.
It smells like old
It
book.
smells like old book. It has this awesome uneven pages.
It smells like old book that's actually been Lysol.
It smells Lysol.
So, well, it's probably been like when they had it there themselves.
Oh, okay.
Because I can smell just a little bit of a hint of something that's not old book. It's
Yeah.
like somebody went and
Yeah.
But it's got, like Ty was saying, has the uneven pages that you get in the older books, and I like it. Feel the hand,
Yeah, I'm really happy that I went ahead and got it this way. I had to be careful with my dust jacket, of course, because it's a nice cover underneath, but dust jackets. Davina's like, it even kind of looks like them.
Kind of,
Yeah.
kind of, in a vague kind of way.
In a vague kind of way, because it would have been after the movie. Greatest bestseller of our century, the modern American classic, already read by over 20 million people. Now, of course, granted, this is in the 60s. So, yeah. So this was number 1.
Okay, you doing with stash enhancements?
I had the two other.
2 other?
The ones that came in for me.
Oh, okay. I don't know how I saw this. I think I got an email from Miss
probably,
Babs.
yeah.
And I went to look, and I was like, oh, this will go good with something I want to do. They were. I guess they're getting rid of this base.
I think you were right.
Because I got the last 2 of these. It's a sport weight because it's.
Is that fingering weight mini skein?
I don't know, but I don't know.
Because if it is, I can use it for my blankets.
You think so, huh?
Well, you don't use fingering weight.
Are you sure about that?
Poison berry.
Tart. What's tart? It look.
Fingering weights.
Yeah, it's fingerweight, boysenberry.
Thank you. Because I have a little bag of that's a Ziploc that just has my Miss Babs fingering weights. If I want to throw it in my blanket at any point, or if I want to use it for I have different weights set aside.
And I got this nice little stitch marker that came with the bookmark. I don't know what this is. Oh, it's a show schedule. And okay. This is the Ansel Kawia Babette. And my understanding is that this is going to be going out. Oh, good.
Isn't that nice?
I was worried because they said there would be some have more black than white. Now, I'm going to put this with some dragonfly fiber, and it's going to become one of these.
Mm-hmm.
I have Area 51, and I have Black Pearl, I think it is.
That's going to be very nice.
And this. So,
because I'm seeing it in my head, you wearing with that red outfit you like to wear.
Mm-hmm.
Also with your silver dress.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess it says silver skirt and
top.
But it always looks like a dress to me.
It's a very classic kind of color. It can go with almost anything.
Mm-hmm.
It can go with blue.
Yeah.
It can go with green. It can go with green.
It can go with green.
But more blue, more red, silver. But I have plenty of those colors.
Yeah.
And so I was telling Ty that I needed to dye up something like this. And this came up. And right now I'm kind of using, interchangeable with the Sport and the DK.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's going to be really nice. And it's got enough of the gray in it to pull in the grays that I have in the other colors. I was worried that would be too stark with that cream. But I think it's going to be just fine.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great.
So I felt like I really lucked out with this. It has 280 yards.
Let me see.
Yeah. Approximately 113 grams.
So, that is 115 grams, 100% superwash American Merino wool, DK yarn. So,
and it's a 115 grams. So that's a little more than what we normally get, about 15 grams more than a regular DK. And she's always very generous in her skein, so I bet it's like 130 grams.
Yeah.
Which means I'll have, this could very easily work well with the Sport that I have.
Yeah.
Depending on how lightweight that is.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy with this.
I find the Sport, unless the Sport is like super thin, it usually works pretty well with DK.
As long as you're not trying to, make a sweater or something.
Right. But if you're making a shawl, it all works out. So for me, what happened is, I found the physical book for these two was less than the Kindle, which rarely happens. No shipping. It was like, okay, I've been wanting to read about Benedict Arnold. And I searched for Kindle books on him because he had a lot going on. And
He's an interesting character.
But I could not find on Kindle less expensive than the physical. I'm like, I'm not going to spend more for Kindle. That's silly, especially when there's no shipping on this. So it's called The Tragedy of Benedict Arnold. This is why I'm not buying any tea this month. Because books. This actually looks like it's a decent amount of oh, look at the printing. I should read that.
It's still small.
It is still small, but it's also shorter than... I had to wait till I'm done with George Washington, though.
Yeah.
So, Tragedy of Benedict Arnold, An American Life. So, this is a nice size. Feels nice in your hand.
Yeah, it's not overly big and it's not overly
I feel
small.
like it's something you can curl up with.
Yeah. It's the kind that you want to have, like a bag of pretzels and then,
Yes. You're just sort of sitting in bed, curled.
on the couch with a blanket. And
Yeah, it's a comfortable weight to the book. Because sometimes a paperback can be a little small. But if you have a book like this where it sits nicely on your lap.
This is about the size of my hardcover Anne of Green Gables.
Oh, that big.
Yeah. About.
Yeah. There's just something sometimes about a hardback book.
I used to go. I can't do it with apples anymore unless I cut them up. But I used to go with. I would raid the downstairs. We had the snacks. I'd get an apple and some pretzels and maybe a cheese stick or something. Go upstairs and curl up in my room and not be heard of for the next 2 or 3 hours. Just read.
Makes me think of Never Ending Story, where he went up in the attic and was laying on the floor reading the book. That's kind of what I used to do in the library.
Yeah.
In the reference section. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's got nice print to it. Not quite as teeny as Gone with the Wind is. But yeah, I just didn't see the point in paying more for the Kindle when I could have a nice solid book to smack.
Does it have the? It doesn't have the card in the back of it. Just the.
No, I don't think it's a library book.
It has a number on the side on the back.
Oh, does it? Oh, no, it's thrift books.
It's thrift books. Okay.
So I guess somebody got rid of it. Like, why would you get rid of this?
They weren't reading it.
Oh, I mean, it's in great shape. I don't know. Maybe they got it for school book and then decided they were done. Although some people don't keep books, which is weird to me. I mean, I know
If
that
I had enough space, I would hoard books.
exactly same here. And then this one was same issue. It was a book that I'm going to run out of on the library, and it won't. It might not renew, and it's an audiobook. And I was not going to pay for the audiobook. Way too expensive. Heart Healers. This is one I kind of want to keep anyway. This has...
The pictures.
No pictures.
I thought I saw a picture.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yes, it does have pictures. This is about... Okay, Heart Healers. The misfits, mavericks, and rebels who created the greatest medical breakthroughs of our lives. I've been loving this book. Oh, this is so great. I have, cheered. I have been yeah!
It's this is something I could read if it's not too in-depth. And I don't mean in-depth about what they discovered, but the little X on here.
No, it's in-depth. You might not be able to read this.
No, I don't like that kind of stuff.
It's such a great book. I'm really happy to have it. Everything from, where CPR starts.
Yes.
Let me see. I can't see.
It doesn't look like a heart.
Oh, I think those are probably, let's see. Yeah, but he was talking about in the book how people who are in cardiac research, whatever, for some reason they have this obsession with relating food to the heart, and they're talking about the vegetation on the heart.
Oh, okay. It looks like cauliflower on the heart.
Yes, exactly. On top, it's vegetation growing on the heart valves. The bottom, it shows that it resembles broccoli.
It looks like cauliflower, but I guess because it's black and white.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't.
No,
there's a reason I'm not in the medical profession. I wouldn't like to read this.
I have thoroughly enjoyed it as I've listened to it. I'm about to run out on it, and they already let me have it for 20 days. So I'm actually really excited to actually read it versus listen to it. I just have to find where I'm at in the book.
Right. Well, you'll find it.
Yeah, it won't be hard.
Wow, that's how small the pacemaker is. That was back then.
Yeah, pacemakers are they're small now.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a really fascinating book. Just some of these people, like the things that they dared to do, that you'd be like, oh my gosh, it's crazy, and end up saving a ton of lives. Super duper.
And we each got a book on Ulysses S Grant.
Yes, it was for 96 cents. His entire memoirs.
Very highly rated.
Yes, very highly rated. He wrote it before he died of cancer.
Just before he died of cancer.
And everyone says that that's the way you're supposed to write, like an autobiography, like the way he did.
I read an excerpt before I got it because my husband was like, look, if you're not going to read it, 96 cents is still 96 cents. He's not saying I can't get it by any stretch of the imagination.
He just knows that she doesn't have as much time to read as I do.
So I read like a little bit. I said, I can read this. So
something you probably read while you're on the machine.
Yeah, if I don't tie it up with all my other stuff that I'm doing first. So I'm hoping to read a little bit of it this afternoon. After Davina and I do rosary and stuff like that, maybe I can sit down and read a little, or maybe when Daddy goes downstairs, I'll have a cup of tea and read.
Yeah,
something like that. So, yeah. Do you have anything else in terms of stash enhancements?
No, I'm getting too happy about my acquisition here. I need to put this away.
What else? What's next?
I guess once you fall in love with cardiac, you're always in love with cardiac.
What else is next?
I think it's just like thank yous and personal.
Okay, so we're going to do the thank yous before we say goodbye to people who don't necessarily want to listen to personal. We get that.
Last stash enhancement I forgot.
Oh, right.
New braces for the thumb, because that's where I tend to have the pain with my Ehlers-Danlos. And it's great. I should have gotten this kind before, because I guess I didn't realize how much I hyperextend here. Because when I saw what it said, it was like, oh, you get these if you, for extreme hyperextension. I'm like, I'm not extreme. And then I'm like, why isn't this working? Got these. I'm like, oh, okay. That's why.
You have to look like your Nebula anymore.
Yeah, well, I only wear the ones up here if I get a lot, but these just tend to be stiff. They aren't a lot of pain. This was actually painful. Like if I touched it, it would hurt. This is a lot more comfortable. So, and I end up having like these little bracelets.
Pretty cute.
So.
Okay, so if you don't want to hear the personal stuff, we understand that you're here for the yarn and the crocheting and knitting and nerding out and all that kind of stuff. We understand.
Or you might not be there for the nerding out and you're terribly distressed. That's all we did this time.
Oops.
It's a bunny.
I don't have any more tea, I don't think.
I have some.
I have a little bit.
Yum.
It's cold.
It is cold. That's what happens with tea when it's allowed to sit.
It's really cold.
Yes, mine is too.
This room must be very cold.
Iced tea.
Because I'm actually chilly even with this on. But,
well, I know it must be cold if I'm not overheating.
Yeah, I'm not overheating either. And normally I would start having trouble breathing or whatever. But we want to tell the people who are Patreons, we have a live stream and a Zoom coming up in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So this
live
Friday,
stream is this week.
and then
Zoom
is
next
the following week. So we have those two things coming up that we wanted to make sure you're aware of. 2 Fridays.
Yes.
This Friday and the next Friday.
Everything just got kind of
pushed.
Yeah, because of Lent and stuff.
Now,
Easter.
we do want to thank the people who commented either on YouTube or over at the PHN home. So if you want to go, we want to thank you first. We want to thank Looney Hiker, Andy, Rena, Allison, Isella, My Story My Way, and Paula. Thank you very much. If I don't have your name down here, I didn't see you before I put my show notes out and set up for the podcast with Talia. We are grateful to everybody who comments, everybody who contacts us. Even if we don't get your name because I missed it because stuff. Okay, we are very grateful. Thank you very much. We're going to give you a couple seconds here to clear out if you don't want to hear personal stuff, and then we'll go into that.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, all right.
That was probably really annoying to someone.
Oops.
It's a bunny.
I don't have any more tea, I don't think. Let me see.
I think I have a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. Yeah. The tea is all gone. Okay.
I have another swallow left.
Personal stuff. The reason why I haven't done a whole lot in the way of knitting or dyeing yarn or anything was we had doctor's appointments for Talia, and then we had taxes, and I had to scramble for taxes this year. So
The only thing we had for me this was the lab.
yeah, I had to scramble for the taxes. You know, we got everything in, and I was able to get the payments in and stuff like that for the federal, and then because we went ahead and did a direct type of thing, and then I sent out the May payments in today's mail. So that went out. That was one of the reasons. And then we had all the prep for the Easter meal and things like that. So
Which
that
falls squarely on Mom.
And then we had, of course, our religious activities. Various things online or in person. So yeah, by the time I was just tired.
You're just tired.
Just tired, and didn't feel like it. Sometimes I would pull it out and and then a couple of times I pulled out my notebook, my drawing pad, and did some stuff on that. But basically, it was just like, yeah, I don't feel like it, so I didn't do a whole lot.
I found where I was at. Just mark me right now. For me, I had lab work done.
You were pretty out of it.
I was. Oh, it didn't help that I spent like half of one day reading my George Washington biography, which will show up on my other on BookTube. Didn't have the energy for BookTube last week. But
the days have been very cut up, because of various things.
I need to hopefully find the energy this week to do BookTube because I have the coolness of my bookses. So.
And other than that, we're basically kind of even keel right now. We already said that Ty didn't need surgery, so that's good.
Yeah, exactly. So all things are good.
We're very grateful. Thank you, God.
Yes,
thank you for your prayers and your good
thank
thoughts.
you.
We appreciate that. I guess that's it.
That is it. And I better put this down because I'm going to want to start reading it.
No, we have to eat lunch. So we want to wish you all a very blessed Easter week. It's the Easter octave for us. And we wish you a blessed week full of knitting, crocheting, whatever it is that makes your heart very happy.
Happy, joy, joy.
Happy, joy, joy. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 501. We hope to see you here for the Fun in the Women Cave next week. And that's a wrap.
Bye.